Hey, what's up everybody? So if you are a beginner in motion graphics and you're looking for the basics to start making some smooth animations on your mobile phone, then you are very lucky because this is the perfect video for you. Because today we're going to be learning how to make a very basic ball animation. Because I guarantee you, if you watch this full video, by the end you will know how to animate the transform, the scale, and how to use graph editors, which is very essential on making any animation. So without any further ado, let's get started. So today we're going to be using Alight Motion, which is a free app on both the Google Play Store and Apple Store. Of course, I'm going to be leaving links in the description below, so if you don't have it, go download it and go back to this video. So as you can see here, I have my empty project ready to go. So first thing, using the plus button, we need to create a brand new object. This is going to be our ball, so we need to use the circle. Using the color fill, you can change the ball color to any color you want. So I'm going to use red. Now we need a platform so the ball has something to bounce on. So I'm going to create a brand new circle, change the color of the circle. So I'm going to scale it up and position it somewhere in the bottom so it kind of looks like a surface. Now let's stretch both layers and make them 4 seconds long. There you go. So now we set up our scene. It's time to make some professional animation. So we will be animating the ball, so just select the ball. Then you will see this menu with a lot of options. The option that we need is move and transform. So when you click on it, it's gonna pop this brand new window, and believe it or not, this in the middle is actually a touchpad. So if you put your finger on it and start moving, you will see that the ball is moving along. If you move towards the middle, you will see that the ball snaps itself into the X and Y axes, which is very helpful to get more professional alignment, because you know we only make professional stuff. So let's move the ball along the Y axis and let's just put it somewhere in the top. So this is where the ball is going to be falling from. And now we need to make the actual animation. So first thing, make sure that you are in the very beginning of your project, which is the 0-second mark. And now we need to create a brand new keyframe. Just click on this keyframe button and you will actually see the keyframe on your ball layer. That little diamond right there, we call that a keyframe. I know this is a beginner tutorial, so I don't want to go so much in depth, but basically a keyframe is telling the software that at this time the ball needs to be here. So let's move to the 1-second mark and change the position of our ball. Just make sure it touches the surface of our platform that we created, and you will notice on the ball layer a brand new keyframe was created. And if you move the timeline, you will notice that you just created your first animation. If you play the video, you will notice that the animation is very linear. It's awkward. This isn't how it's supposed to be. So we can fix this by making the animation smoother using the graph editor. First thing, make sure that your timeline is between the two keyframes. Then click on the graph editor button, which is located below the keyframe button. So click on it and you will see all of these graphs. Now I know this is very intimidating, but don't be scared, because this is probably the easiest part in this video. So all you have to do is to press on the second graph on the list, which is located on your right, which is this button right here. Now if you play the video back, you will notice that your animation is much smoother than what it was, because the graph editor made the animation start very slow and then gradually increasing the speed until the ball stops, which is very realistic. You can actually exaggerate the smoothness even further if you grab this ball and move it towards the left. So you can see what that does is it made the ball start very slow and lands really fast. Some people don't like that. I like it, so I'm gonna roll with it, but if you don't like it, you can use the default settings. So I will go to the timeline and just move it a little bit to the right, and I'm gonna create a brand new keyframe. Now I'm gonna go towards 2 seconds, maybe a little bit more than that, and then I'm just gonna grab the ball and move it up. And as you can see, we just created another animation. But as you can see, we have the same problem. It looks very linear and very awkward, so we need to use the graph editor again to fix this animation. Again, make sure that your timeline is between the two keyframes that you want to smooth, and then just click on the graph editor. On the descending animation, the ball descending animation, we use the second option on the right, but now on the ascending animation we need to use the third graph. I don't want to make this any more confusing, but the third option is kind of like the reverse of the second option. This makes the animation start very fast and then end really slow. Again, you can exaggerate the smoothness, but this time you're gonna grab the ball and just drag it to the right. As you can see, we have a very smooth ascending animation. And finally, the last animation, we're just gonna move the timeline a little bit and then just grab the ball and make it touch the surface just like we did earlier, and then we're gonna use the same graph editor, which is the second option. And here's the final transform animation. You probably noticed that the ball, there's like a little pause when the ball hits the surface, but I actually did that on purpose, and you're gonna see why in a minute. But essentially, that's gonna make our animation more dramatic. And now let's move on to making the ball stretch and squish according to the animation, which will give our ball more life. First thing, we need to change our pivot point, which is really easy to do. Just move the timeline to the end of the project. Go to move and transform, and then click on that logo on the far right upper corner. Now, using the touchpad, just move the pivot point between the ball and the surface to the contact point basically. Now let's go to the scale window and then unlock the aspect ratio using that chain. So just tap on it once and you will see that scroll wheel will turn into 2 scroll wheels, and this is gonna allow us to change the height and width individually, which means we can both stretch or squish our ball. So create a brand new keyframe on the 0 mark and then go to 1 second, and using the lower scroll wheel we will be stretching our ball. Make sure you don't stretch it too much because that's gonna make the animation look very weird. So if you play the video back, you will see that the animation looks pretty sweet right now with the stretch. So we need to continue and squish our ball. So I'm gonna move the timeline just a little bit, and then again using the lower scroll wheel I'm just gonna squish our ball. So again I'm gonna move the timeline just a little bit and then make our ball a little taller. Now I'm gonna go to the 2 second mark, and then I'm just gonna just change the scale to the original scale. So let's go back and review that real quick. So when the ball was falling, it stretches, and the moment it hit the surface, it squishes, and then it stretches again, which looks very dramatic and adds more life into our animation. Okay, so that's sweet. Let's keep going and do our final touches. So let's go back to the point where the ball stops mid-air and create a brand new keyframe, and then let's go to where the ball makes contact with the surface, and just like earlier we're gonna stretch the ball, and just like we did earlier we're just gonna move the timeline a little bit, and then we're just gonna squish the ball, and then we're gonna move the timeline again and then just stretch the ball, and then I'm gonna move it the last time and just change the scale to the original value. And I'm happy to report that we are just finished with our animation. Here's the final product. I gotta say, this looks very sweet, and it doesn't even look like it was made in mobile. It looks that good. So yours might not look exactly like mine, which is good. I encourage you to change some values and just mess around with your settings. Just don't make yours look exactly like mine. I mean, I'm fine with it, but the more you diversify, the more your work is gonna stand out. Now you know what to do. You can actually make the ball like bounce 4 or 5 other times. You can make it do all sort of things. Just go ahead and create your own version, and yeah, that's it. This is how to make a smooth ball animation on your mobile device. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I know a lot of you been asking me to make an Alight motion tutorial, so I decided to make this very quick tutorial, and I'm pretty sure that if you are interested in motion graphics, this is gonna help you so much, because yeah, this is just the basics and it allows you to do a lot more. So if you guys want to see more Alight motion tutorials, go ahead and comment down below what should I show you next, and I will happily do it. I've been also thinking lately if I should start some sort of tutorial series, but honestly I want to do whatever you guys want me to do, because honestly you guys show a lot of support, and you know I quit YouTube for like a year, more than a year, and seeing everybody back and sticking around, showing love, commenting, has really kept me thinking about YouTube and trying to stay creative and deliver content. And yeah, you guys really keep me alive. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button down below, and if you are new to my YouTube channel and you're not subscribed, be sure to go ahead and subscribe with post notifications on, because I have a lot more videos coming and you don't want to miss that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.